Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating it, which means you're in the USA. I believe even Canada has a different Thanksgiving, and we don't have one at all here in the UK. And yeah, the things you learn from doing a channel like this. And I still don't really know all about the traditions on Thanksgiving and what the proper origin story is. And we're aware, I guess, that people have a big turkey dinner with family around, that there's a national holiday, that people watch the Detroit Lions or the Dallas Cowboys playing football, and yams and okras and things. I don't know, but the one tradition we have got from it over here is Black Friday, so that'll be tomorrow. Now I won't be in the shops, but I will be welcoming some family into our tiny little flat. So we'll see how that goes. There might have to be a pre-record or two today so that you can cope with that. Now, I am looking forward to having a go at this puzzle. It's called Modular Cages by Randy Dan. Now this reminds me of when I first worked for an American company. We would get visitors from the US of A, and one lady came into our offices and was introducing herself in a meeting and explained that her name was Randy, and yes, she knew exactly what that implied here in Britain, and there was clearly a note of resignation in her voice because the meaning of the word is different between across the continent, and I think Randy's more common as a male name, probably even in the States. But there we go. That's just a memory that amuses me. Now, this is called Modular Cages, and I've struggled with modular arithmetic in a puzzle actually that I don't think you've seen yet. That will be coming up in the future. So this is when my time slip technology takes hold. No, but anyway, we'll see if I struggle with this one as well. Don't let me forget to tell you that on Patreon on the 1st of December, we're going to be featuring a new Sudoku hunt for Patreons. It's all new, it's all marvelous. It's The Wind in the Willows. It's based on Mole trying to find his way through 12 puzzles and solve to open an advent calendar. You have to help him, his eyesight's not that good. So help Mole with his advent calendar by solving 12 Sudokus that represent each of the chapters in Kenneth Grahame's wonderful children's novel. And yeah, I mean, some fond memories for me there. Anyway, you'll know all about that if you're a patron in a few days, where you can also see connections and crossword videos, lots of the latter. So do check out our Patreon site, it's great fun. Do also check out our apps, which feature Line Sudoku and Killer Sudoku and the Worms, as well as Classic Sudoku 2, the latest one. So loads of great content there as well. And SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD's linked under the video too. So please check it all out. But the first link is to this puzzle, and I'm going to go through the cages now. No, I'm going to go through the rules now. They involve cages because the puzzle's called Modular Cages. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. On a green line, adjacent digits have to have a difference of at least 5. And the digits inside each dashed line cage must sum to a multiple of the small clue shown in the top of the cage. Digits may repeat within a modular cage if allowed by other rules. So these 6 digits can include repeats, and their sum will be divisible by 4. Well, okay, well they're more like multiple cages. That's really weird. I'm quite bad with modulo arithmetic. I like to think I'm a bit better with multiple arithmetic. Maybe they overlap in a way I haven't understood yet. We will find out. Do give it a try on that first link. Or check the video link to see how hard I found it. I'm restarting the clock. Let's get cracking. So this cage is entirely made up of this green line. Okay, so the things I tell you about green lines are they can never contain the digit 5 because there's no possible green line neighbour. they alternate between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5 to maintain the necessary difference. And yeah, 4 and 6 are quite difficult to place on green lines, especially in this puzzle, because they would have to sit in a place where their two neighbours didn't see each other in row, column or box. Actually, this is possible. This cell is possible. That's really weird. In this triangle, I would call that the heart of the triangle. It seems to be in the middle. And yet, despite being in the middle, that seems to be the only cell where you could put a 4 or a 6 on this triangle. Because in this cell, if you had a 4, it would be surrounded by two 9s. And they don't have to see each other. Yeah, so anyway, let's go back to the point before about alternating polarity, high or low. And we can colour this cage with, say, pink and green, where pink is either high or low and green is the other. And we have this sort of cluster. Right, every other cell on the cage that isn't this one does have to be not 4 or 6 and can't be 5. And actually, I think that applies to all of these kind of framing triangles. Oh, that's interesting, right. They are all from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And why I'm finding that interesting, every one of these positions sees two neighbours that see each other, has two neighbours that see each other. That one has those two, that one has those two, that one has these two, that one has these two, and that one has these two. So they do it in different ways, but they do all have neighbours that see each other. And therefore we've got sextuples in 2 rows and 2 columns of 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. What that means is all of these cells in row 2, these ones in row 8, these ones in column 2, and these ones in column 8 must contain the digits 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to colour those, not blue, yellow, just because I found them. Oh, right. Well, we can colour these cells. Yeah, I mean, these alternate. And, okay, it's a little more complicated than my brain is allowing me to understand. But 4, 5, and 6 contain a 5, which gets no colour, and 4 and 6, one of which is green and one of which is pink. And therefore, we've got, to complete the row, we've got 2 greens and 1 pink left, and they must alternate here. That's kind of the rule. So now we can paint the whole of this triangle. I was going to call it a diamond because I'm a numpty. And then we can paint this one. We've got 1 green and 2 pink, and those are green. And this one follows the same pattern. We've got double green in the row and the column, and pink everywhere else. So I don't know which is high and which is low, but I have coloured a number of cells. Now, this is the one to focus on, because we've got a divisor, which is 4. Though this is trickier than I thought. I was going to say this is a set of either 1, 2, 3 or 7, 8, 9. But that goes against what I said at the start, which was that these 2 digits can be the same. And they unquestionably can be the same. So we don't necessarily have a set of the pink digits. What would the count be if we did have a set of 1, 2, 3 in pink and a set of 7, 8, 9 in green? We'd be adding 9 and 1 is 10, 8 and 2 is 10, 7 and 3 is 10. They would add up to 30, and that is not actually divisible by 4. It is even, but it's not divisible by 4. So that is not what is happening. In this cage, we are either having a 4 or a 6 here, so that this is not a set of 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, or 7, 8, 9, or these two are the same. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand how... Well, I suppose I might be looking at the wrong thing. Maybe this is not where we start. I was trying to work out how we're going to get a divisible by 4 total. Maybe I need to choose high or low first. Let's just have a look at this. This is a smaller cage that is divisible by a higher number, by 5. Well, I can see that 3, 8, 9 would fit this. That would be 20. If this was a 3, I'm just speculating, these would have to be an 8, 9 pair. This cage would add up to 20 and would be perfectly fairly formed. That would be divisible by 5. Oh, but it's quite interesting, actually. If this wasn't a 3, if this was 2, these would be a pair of either 7, 8, 7, 9, or 8, 9. They'd add up to 15, 16, and 17. If you add them to 2, you get 17, 18, or 19. And those are not totals that are divisible by 5. So this cannot be a 2. That's a very surprising result. 3 is really constricted, but it works. 2 doesn't work. What about 1? I think it's the same deal. You'd get 15, 16, or 17 in these two cells, plus 1 equals 16, 17, or 18. They are not divisible by 5. I'm sort of picturing all the integers in my head in a sort of string of 1 up to, say, 25. And only at the 5 points are they divisible by 5, at 5, 10, 15, and 20. And it's missing if that's a 1. Now, the really interesting thing for me will be if we change the polarity and if we say green is high, is this going to work the other way round? I have a feeling it is, but I'm not sure. I don't think I know enough about, well, it is about modular arithmetic, isn't it? Anyway, let's try it. If this was 7, we see that does work. Well, I mean, this might be exactly the same. If that was 7, these have to be a 1, 2 pair. They're the only digits that can touch 7 on the green line. Then the cage would add up to 10, and that's perfectly feasible. So I'm not going to be able to deduce polarity from this exercise with this cage. However, if this was 8, these would add up to either 3, 4, or 5, taking the 8 total up to 11, 12, or 13, none of which are divisible by 5, so it's not 8. And if it was 9, again they'd add up to 3, 4, or 5, taking the total up to 12, 13, or 14, and not reaching 15. So this digit is a green 3 or 7. And that's interesting, because I could have used placeholders here, but not only do some people accuse that of being bifurcation, which I don't think it is, but also it does lead to some confusion, and you start doing some placement that depends on the placeholder you've actually used. And I don't like risking that. Anyway, what I have found is that I can adjust these cells, because these can't be the green 3 or 7. Remember, green is always either high or low. So if that was 3 or 7, it's impossible, because they'd both have to be the same polarity. They'd both be 3s or they'd both be 7s. So these digits are not green 3 or 7. They are a pair of either green 1, 2 or green 8, 9. Oh, and 3 or 7 cannot touch 3 or 7. 3, 7 is an impossible pair on a green line because the difference is only 4. So these cells are now a definite pair of either 1, 2 or 8, 9. In fact, I knew that if I'd thought about it, because I'd worked out that this cage is either 1, 7, 2 or 8, 3, 9. I still don't know what this digit is. It could be pink 3, 7. But still, we found something out about the 5 cage. Now, what can we do? Right, now we know these aren't a 1, 2 pair. One of these is a 3, 7 in the row, is a pink 3, 7. we didn't work out, and maybe because I didn't do the maths hard enough, whether these have to be the same digit. What I did work out was either that was a 4, 6 or these are the same digit, because otherwise this whole cage adds up to 30. So let's try and think this through this time. Sorry, I need to apply myself. So if this was 4 or, oh, well, if this was 4 or 6, it's quite prescriptive. If this is 6, these both have to be 1s. And then we know from the pink digits, if that happens, this is a 2, because it's low and not a 1, and this is a 3. So if this is a 6, we've got 1, 1, 3, 8 and 9. Right, 6, 7, 8, 11, plus 8 and 9 is 28. Darn, that is divisible by 4. So that is a perfectly acceptable realization of the cage. Now, if it was 4, these would both be 9s. That's 22. I have a feeling this is going to work as well. This would be a 7. That's 29. And these would be a 1, 2 pair. That's 32. Okay, it definitely does work with a 4 or 6 here. And, well, the other thing I was going to then test, if it wasn't a 4 or a 6 there, then we do get a set here. If this is 3 or 7, we do get a set here of either 1, 2, 3 or 7, 8, 9. And then these had to be the same. If it is a 4 or 6 here, these have to be the same anyway, because they're both, 4 or 6 is a monogamous digit. It needs only one partner, and that has to be in both places on the green line. So we know these are both the same. I'm going to give them a flash, not of blue, of grey. These are both the same digit, and are they 3, 7, or are they the other extremer digit? Well, that might depend on the maths. So if they're both 3, 7, let's say they were both 3. That's 3 plus 3 is 6. This is 1 or 2. So we're up to 7 or 8. Then this is a 7, 8, 9 group, because if they're 3 or 7, this has to be from 8, 9. So if they're both 3, we've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 here takes us up to 30. And 1 or 2, yeah, 2 works. Okay, I'm not getting anywhere there. That's a poor effort by me. Oh, this 5 cage is exactly the same as this one. Well, why didn't I notice that? It is entirely symmetrical, isn't it? And this one was only dependent on the maths here to ensure that that was 3 or 7. So we can do that up here. Oh, you numpty. Right, well, I wish I'd spotted that before. That's 3 or 7. It can't touch 3 or 7. So this is a 1, 2, or an 8, 9 pair. And this digit is definitely from 3, 4, 6, or 7. That applies here as well. Now, it's not the case for this triangle that these two have to be the same, because they're not included in a calculation. I mean, we could use the letter tool and call this A, and this is B amongst these green extremer digits. That's A, that's B. But does that get us round the corner? Not really. Those could be repeats or not. I mean, actually, these have to be different from each other, because those two are different from each other and they're looking at them. But I don't know whether we're repeating A and A on this line or whether that's B, because this line is not summed. Oh, goodness, I've been fooled by the constructor here. Now, here again and here, we can say 3, 4, 6 or 7 because they're looking at a green extreme pair there and a green extreme pair there. Now, I do have to still think about this total. Something here might... Oh no, maybe I have to think about the 7 cage, which I'm beginning to wonder, is the 7 cage the disambiguator between high and low? The trouble is, I don't know what this digit is. If that was from 4, 5, 6, we'd have a trio of 4, 5, 6. That would be 3 or 7. This would be a triple. I don't know. I'm not sure I understand yet. Let me think about this a little longer. I am sort of vaguely glancing occasionally at these other cages and not having a clue what to do with them. I still think I have to work on this framework of triangles. Oh gosh, do bear with me. I'm losing my reason here. What? Okay, let's come back here again. The trouble is, I think I found that this has all sorts of possibilities. If this is 3 or 7, oh, do you know what? It can't be. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yeah, it can. Sorry, I thought I was looking at those two cells and going, they couldn't be 3 or 7. But no, if that's 3 or 7, that can still be 3 or 7. That one can't be on the line. If that's 3 or 7, the pink, that can't be pink 3 or 7, and that would have to be. So if this is 3 or 7, these add up to 10, definitely. These two, we've worked out that these two are the same as each other, so that's an even total, and 10 there is even. But these two either add up to 17 or 3. We would get an odd total for the cage, and I can tell you that is not divisible by 4. So this digit is not 3 or 7. This is 4 or 6. And now we know that these ones are an extreme digit. They are 1 or 9, because that's all that can touch it. Let me just check the logic on that. And I realise I could have taken 3 and 7 out of these cages, these cells, ages ago now, but I haven't. Doesn't matter. If this was 3 or 7, these would be from 1, 2, 8, 9. In the row, that would, and in the column, that would cause a pair, and this would have to be from 3 or 7. That is right. That pair would add to 10. These pair we have discovered are the same digit, so they're even, and these would definitely have an odd total. Yes. Okay. Wow, that's weird and hard to see for me. This is 4 or 6. These are extreme digits, either 1 or 9, repeating. This is now not pink 1 or 9, because that's here in the row. Same there. That's also not 1 or 9. And that is 2 or 8. So this is definitely 3 or 7. And the same was true in this row. So now, this is either 1, 1 and 3. Now let's work on this cage total, because this might do some very interesting things. This pair, let's say they're low. We can add up the whole cage. If they're low, it's a 1, 2, that's 3, plus 4 is 7, and then the high digits are a 7 taking us to 14, and 2 9s taking us to 32. So that does work. If that's high, I think this is going to work as well. If that's high, it's a 6, this is 8, 9, that's 23, 2 1s is 25, and a 3 is 28. But surely we've learned something. We've learned that this is 2 or 8 pink, so that isn't. That's 1 or 9 pink. Same here, that's 1 or 9 pink. And now, these two include a 2-8 and a 3-7. Oh, we're going to have to do the same, but this is a 7 cage. Right, so these are again both the same now, because whatever that is, which is not, by the way, 1-9 anymore, these are a pair of either 2-3 or 7-8, so are these, and that is always different from both of these, so these two are the same. Oh, this can't be 4 or 6 now, because these don't have 1 or 9 as a possibility. So although we had 4 or 6 there, we now definitely have 3 or 7 here, and they can't connect to 3 or 7 on the line. So these are a 2-8 pair. That is now a 3 or 7. Now we're going to add up this cage, and those add up to 10. And these are either, well, it depends. They're either 4 or 16, depending on whether it's low or high. I don't know. Okay, let's assume pink is low. 10, 14, 8 and 9 gets us to 31. That couldn't be from 4, 5, 6, because that would take us to 46. That way round. Now, what about the other way round? If pink was high, we've got 8, 8, 7, that's 23. 1, 2, 3 here, that's 29. 4, 5, 6 here would get us to 44. I don't think that can be from 4, 5 or 6. And it can't be from the other green digits. So I think that's pink. But there are still 2 possibilities. No, there aren't. No, look at this. Look at 2 8s. We've got 4 2 8s in the 4 pink 2 8s in the grid looking at box 1. And they're forcing 2 or 8 pink into the corner. Now, oh look, it's got 3 of the same digit in this crazy cage. Now, this is exciting. Now we're going to add up this cage. There's a little bit of variability on the yellow 4, 5, 6s, but not on anything else. That pair always adds to 10. If pink is low, we've got another 6 there, that's 16. We've got 8, 9 here, that's 33. Then we've got a total of 9, 10 or 11 in these cells, taking us to 42, which is divisible by 7, 43 and 44, which aren't. So if pink is low, this is a 4, 5 pair, and we're alive. If pink is high, these are 3 8s, that's 24. This is a 7, that's 31. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple, that's 37. Plus 9, 10 or 11 is 46, 47, 48. We didn't get to 49, which is divisible by 7. That is not what's happening. Pink is low. The 7 cage was the disambiguator, but my goodness, it was quite complex to get there. So I'm turning the low color into blue, the high color, which is green, into orange. Now I can write in digits. This one in the corner is low. That's a 2. This is 3. This is 2, this is 1, then we go 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this is 3 or 4, and this is 3 or 4. And the high digits, these are an 8, 9 pair. That's a definite 7. Oh, and I worked out what those were. I'm going to do that maths again, because I think it was 4, 5, but I don't dare risk that I might have forgotten. So that's a 7. Oh look, this can't be 8 or 9. Hang on, what am I talking about? This is high, it is 8 or 9, and it's a pair with that one. I've lost my mind there. Try and ignore me when I lose my mind. This is 8 or 9, this is 7 in the near corner. These can't be low, they're not 1 or 2. That can't be low, and that can't be low. And this is definitely high and is a 6. And that pair is a 4, 5 pair because of that 6. Now I'm going to add up this gauge again. 2, 4, 6, 16 and 17, there is 33. Plus 4 and 5 is 42, which is divisible by 7. So that is a 4, 5 pair. These other cells in the box are a 1, 6 pair. Look, there's an analogous situation. I had 2s looking at the top left corner. I've got 1s looking at the bottom right corner. That is a 1. I'm going to get rid of the grey. Right, these cells are 2 and 7, and this is a 3 cage. Divisible by 3. 1 plus 4 plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 5 plus 2 is 8. Neither of those are divisible by 3, so that's not a 2. That's a 7. Plus 4 plus 1 is 12. That answers the cage. This is resolved. Is it worth me continuing high-low colouring? Probably not. I don't have green lines to deal with anymore. Okay, that's now not a 4. Oh, we also got digits, didn't we? 5 is ruled out of those 2. 4 is ruled out of these 2. Now I got a 4 here, so that's ruled out of there. And 4, I was going to say it has to be in one of those cells, but look, this lurking blue cell could be a 4. That's rather mean of it. Good thing I spotted it, though. That can't be 5. Have I missed some Sudoku? Probably have. Oh, goodness. Okay, I don't know what to do. I mean, there's a 3 cage there, but there's also a 3 cage here. Now, we know what's in here within 1 in this box. The box, I haven't mentioned the secret yet, which is that every row, column and box adds up to a total of 45. That's just yours to know. Now, it's the sum of the digits 1 to 9. It's pretty clear anyway. So these add up to 45 minus 10 minus 3 or 4. So that's 32 or 31. And we need a divisible by 3 total. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. I couldn't keep the A, B's going. Oh, bother. Okay, what about this 3 cage? It's unlikely to be a lot of use. But let's try and figure it out. So, digits we have available in the box are 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Oh, 3 of those are already modulo 0, modulo 3. 3, 6 and 9. So if you use 3, 6 and 9 in this cage, they don't affect the ability to add to the modular total. You can't use only 3, 6 and 9 because there's 4 cells, so something else is going to go in it. I don't know. Do I know enough about this? 3, 6, 9, and I'm allowed to use 4, 5 and 8. So I'm going to have to take it off 0 modulo 3 using one of 4, 5 or 8 and then put it back on to modulo 3 using another one. I can't use all 3 of them because 8 plus 5 plus 4 is not 0 modulo 3, it adds to 17. So I'm going to use 2 of those digits, and one of them has to be from the 1, 4, 7 set, and that's a 4, and the other one is from the 2, 5, 8 set, and I don't know whether that's 5 or 8. But that means I'm using 4 in this cage, and that's got to go here because of that 4. That's amazing. I think that's right. That becomes a 4. This is a 6. This is a 5. This is a 4. That's not 4. This is not 5 or 6 in this puzzle, so it's 4. That's 6. This is 5. That's 6. I keep hitting the wrong digit. That's 5. That's 6. That's unwound all my yellow digits, and I'm going to get rid of that colour. And now this cage has to have either 5 or 8 and either 3 or 9. Oh, but hang on. That's become a 3 since we placed 4 in the box. So we've got to have a 9 in this cage and either 5 or 8. Oh, but look, I've got this 5 here now. So I'm putting 5 in there. that must be 9, that must be 8. And now this cage adds up to 24, which is divisible by 3. I am actually going to get rid of the colours now in the whole puzzle, because I think they've done their job, and otherwise I'd be kind of constrained to spend my time colouring. Let's do Sudoku. That's a 2, 3, 8 triple, and this digit is a 9. And now this is 8, 9, 8. Oh, but I knew that. It doesn't get me over to this side and decide what these are. Right, Sudoku again. 2, 3, 8, 1, 6, 9. This is 4, 5, 7. Oh, there's going to be a different way to do each corner of the grid. Oh, bother. Okay. No, there's German whispers here. But now that's an 8. This is a definite 3. Now I'm putting in 4, 8 and 9. I know where 4 goes now, and then I know where 9 and 8 go. Right. I also know what the total here is. It is definitely 32. And the available digits, that's interesting. 3, 7, 9 there. This one can't be a 1, so it's 3, 6 or 7. Oh, well, that is very interesting. Right, again, we use this principle of sort of ticking past the modulo number. So I can't remember what I said the total of this was, 32. If we just use digits from 3, 6, 9 here, we'd never get off 32 being not 0 modulo 3, not divisible by 3. So we must use a 7 to take us up to 39, which is divisible by 3, and not the other 7. So in these two cells, which are now yellow, one of them is a 7 and the other isn't. It's from this 3, 6, 9 family. That's strange. Anyway, I don't know how to use it at all. But I'm going to try and remember that one of those yellows is 7 and the other one isn't, because it will help later, I'm sure. Right, this cage has a 5 in now by Sudoku. It's being selected from 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. And it's divisible by 3 again. It's got a 5 in, so that's in the kind of 2, 5, 8 modulo. We need something. We either need 2 more cells from 2, 5, 8 to tip it into the 0 modulo 3, but we can't do that because 2's been used in the box. So we need 1 cell from 1, 4, 7 and then 1 from 3, 6, 9. Well, the one we can use from 1, 4, 7 is a 1, and the one from 3, 6, 9 is not an 8. So now I've got a 1, 5, 6, 9 quad in the column, and that digit is 8. That's brilliant. I mean, I am gradually... The great thing is about doing these sorts of Sudoku is even a non-mathematical brain like mine gets taught things, and I'm gradually understanding how to deal with these modular arithmetics. It definitely should be called modular cages, by the way, and not multiple cages. Dan was right. Okay, so 1, 5, 8, 4, 2. That's 3, 6 or 7. That's 3, 9 or 7. 2, 3, 8 triple there. No, I mustn't. Yeah, this isn't a 1. There's a 1 in the cage. That's resolved. That's a 6. That's a 1. Yes, look, I didn't have a 1 in that set. Right, so these are known. These are 4, 6, 8. That can't be 8. That can't be 6. These are 1, 3, 7. One of them can't be 1. Now, do I do this 5 cage or this 4 cage? Oh, look, 9 is looking there. And now I've got a 3, 7 pair in this column. I'm definitely doing the 5 cage next, because we're not using 1, 3, 7 or 9. So we're allowed to use the 4 even digits and 5. I can see that 5 plus a pair that add to 10 is divisible by 5. Yes, if I was trying to use 3 even digits, the 4 even digits add up to 20. Which one of those could I deduct to get a number divisible by 5? None of them. That wouldn't work. So I can't use 3 even digits here. So I must use 5 in this cage. And now that digit's not a 5. This is a 2-4 pair, and that digit is a 5. So the 5 in this cage goes either with 2, 8 or with 4, 6 to make a total of 15. And that means the other even digits in the column also add to 10, because the 4 even digits between them add to 20. So to go with that 2 or 4, this must be 6 or 8. And now we know that 4 is in this 4 cage. And I'm sure that's helpful. Well, it's almost helpful. These clearly both even digits. Let's colour them even. Blue is even suddenly now. These two, we have to have an even total because the cage is divisible by 4. These two have to be the same parity, therefore, to give an even total as each other, not necessarily as those. These have to be the same parity as each other. Let's make it pink. Now, if they were even, they would add up to 10 because 2 of the even digits have gone into this cage, adding up to 10. The other 2 available even digits would both go in here, adding up to 10. And they wouldn't include a 2. So they would be 4, 6. The 4 would be here. The 6 would be here. That would be 8 and that would be 4. And the cage would add up to 22. That doesn't work. That's right, isn't it? These two have to be the same parity to make this cage even. Yes. If they were even, and they could be theoretically, that 2, well, we know they add up to 10 first of all because of this cage adding up to 15. So these add up to 10 and they don't have a 2 in. They are 4 and 6. Digits can repeat in the cage. That's not a problem in its own right. What is a problem is the 4 would be here because of that 6 and the 6 here. And that would create a 4 here and an 8 here. And the whole cage would now add up to 22, which is not divisible by 4. So those are not even. Good. Those are odd. And they don't include 9 and they don't include 5. We're selecting from 1, 3, 7. But that depends whether this is a 4, 6 pair or a 4, 8 pair. Oh, this is crazy. How do we deal with this now? See, 1, 3 add together to make 4. That would require these to be 4, 8, so they were divisible by 4 as well. 1, 7 is the same. They're also divisible by 4. These would be 4, 8. But 3, 7 here is not divisible by 4. These would be 6, 4 in that case. And that makes this very hard to decide what we're doing. Is it going to come down to these cells? One of them's a 7, so that's not a 7. Or is it going to come down to these cells, which I haven't pencil marked? Oh, 6 has come out of that cage. Sorry, this was obvious since I put 6 there. And 7's come out of those cells. Oh, these are... No, hang on. 7 has not. 7 is in those cells. They are 3, 6 or 7. And that one can't be 6. Have I got a 3, 7 pair in the middle row? No. That's not 9. These are all odd in this row. Where's the 4th odd? I don't know at all. I thought I was onto something there. That can't be 1 because of this. Sorry, I just have to do... Yes, look, 2 is looking at that cell. 4 is looking at both of those. 8 is looking at that one. This can't be 6 either from the right. Oh, this is interesting. If this cage is a 4, 5, 6 cage, this digit has to be a 5. Then you get 7, 3. Now, I don't know what that does. 6 is quite restricted in the box. If 6 isn't in the cage, and I rather think it isn't, then it's going to be here, because we've got these 6s ruling out those cells. So if 6 is here, then this is a 2, 5, 8 cage. Then this has to be 4. Okay, but if 6 is in this cage, it's a 4, 5, 6 cage. Then 8 has to be right here. Oh, if this is 4, 5, 6, that's an 8. Oh, this is going to have... Oh, we've got to go through this cell. If that's 4, 5, 6, this is 8, and this is a 4, 6 pair. They add up to 10. This then has to be the 3, 7 pair. So if that's 4, 5, 6, this is a 3, 7 pair. That's 1, 8, 9, 2. You could fill those in. If that's 4, 5, 6, I'm going to do it. That would be 1, 8, 9, 2. Because 4, 5, 6 makes that 8, makes this 6, 4, makes that 3, 7. This 8, 1 pair has to go in these cells, and we know which way round. The 9, 2 pair goes in those, and we know which way round. So that was if this is a 4, 5, 6 cage. The alternative is it's a 2, 5, 8 cage. In that case, that's a 6. This is 4, 8. And there's a 1 in this cage. So we've had 2, 5, 8, a 1 here. We've got 6 and 4 to put in. Whatever's missing from this, 3 or 7 and 9 in these cells. That is less helpful in terms of pencil marking for these cells. But these have got seriously reduced in output. And look, there's a 2, 4 pair, and that does it. That does it, I think. That looks at this cell. 2, 4 pair looking at that cell makes it 8. And this is going to sort it all out, probably. We get 6 there, and this cage now doesn't have 6 in it or 4. This is a 2, 5, 8 cage, as I suspected. This is a 4. That's 2, that's 4. Now 6 in this box only has one position, and that's there. These don't include 8 or... Was it 1? These add up to 12, so these add up to a number divisible by 4. Yes, 1 is amongst them, so that's not 1. This is either 1... Oh, 1 is amongst those, so this digit becomes a 5, and this cage is done. And that becomes an 8 now. And that becomes a 3. And now I'm grateful for the pencil marking I did earlier. And that 3 takes 3 out of this orange cell pair and makes them a 1, 7 pair. That takes 7 out of these two. I've got 3, 9 looking at that. Everything is coming good now. And I remember I needed 1, 7 in the yellows, and it can't be there because of this. So I'm putting it there. Now I'm going to delete all the colour from the grid. Let's remove some pencil marks. 6 is looking at that cell. Right, let's check the maths on this box. Well, it's... Oh no. Yes, it's all right. It's all of the digits apart from 2 and 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they add up to 42. So that is divisible by 3. So we're all good. This one is 15. This one is definitely 20 now, which is divisible by 4. And that's all of them. So this digit has become a 4. This one is a 7. Now we got that 7. That was going to be essential down here. So 3, 7, 9. That 7 looks at this cage. 7 and 1. That looks at the 1, 3 at the top. And that puts 3 in the center and a 9. What a clever puzzle. My goodness, that's mind-blowing. That's really clever. So I give thanks to Randy Dan for that puzzle. And thank you for watching. That's where our Thanksgiving go. Absolute pleasure to have you with us. Do join us again tomorrow on Black Friday. Now, today, I didn't mention this, Simon will kill me. He's put up the stream continuation. He went back into the Blueprints house the day after we streamed on Monday and recorded his efforts, and I've watched it, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant until the end when he loses the microphone, but he doesn't get much done after that. Not because of that, but anyway. It's really interesting to watch. In case you've been following our Blueprint streams and you're interested, you will want to catch up on a video of over 2 hours that went up today, and it's good fun. And we will probably be back streaming on Monday, I think, as well. So thank you for watching, as always. Absolute pleasure to have you with us, and really hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.